You're in a cafe today. You got Dante, AB, Jonathan, Kevin, Felipe, Champ, Patrick, Crypto Guy, HJW, and K. 10 people in the audience here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you got questions, now is the time. I'm going to send a link in the side chat for everybody to come and join us. Mr. Bob Sadai, the man, the myth, the legend.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Feeling fantastic as well. Today is Freedom
Looking
Friday.
fantastic too. Check
Thank you,
you out.
Bob. It's an everyday kind of thing now.
One day I'm striving to look like you.
I appreciate that.
How's everybody else doing? Mr. John, Supreme John, AB, Dante. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Patrick is coming, ready to go. Love it. Fabulous morning to you too, Mike. Love it. Fantabulous Friday. Ooh. I was reading one of the messages in the chat here. They were saying, don't use big words and stuff like that when you're talking to sellers. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, wait a second. You know, maybe we need to step up our knowledge, our vocabulary. We shouldn't dumb down. We should actually always try to get better and learn more words and learn more things. But I understand the guy's point. With sellers, you want to be more human and not act like you are above them or anything like that. But that doesn't mean that you can't use big words. I don't think proceed is necessarily a big word. But okay, to each his own. Explain the best proper way to underwrite. Talk about A, B, C, and D neighborhoods and how to identify them.
Bob,
Okay.
could we touch on that last one a little bit more about how you should be interacting with sellers? Because I feel like it's important that you set a formal tone and use a formal tonality because you convey that you mean business when you're on the phone.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily formal when I'm talking to sellers. I try to relate to them as much as possible right off the bat. But initially, I'm not gonna come in and say, "Hey, you're better than me," or anything. I don't want to give that vibe either. We're on equal grounds is what I want to come in, and especially with sellers who are investors and have like a bunch of properties themselves, right? They think like they know a lot more than you do, and you're just a newbie. And I want to make sure that at the very beginning they understand that that's not necessarily true. So what I do is, I come in guns loaded, ready to go, and then I back off if I see that they're just regular people. Great, let's have a conversation like friends. But if you're coming at me and, like, don't waste my time, this is my price, I'm going to come right back at you and try to get things rolling in the right way. Meaning that I'm going to come in and go, I absolutely agree. Your time is valuable just as much as mine is valuable. I'm not here to waste your time, but here we go. I am in the process of buying 2 to 3 properties a week. I'm looking at 20 to 30 different properties every week. So I get to decide which ones I want. And I'm just wondering if this is the right match for me or not. Okay. So I'm not going to get bullied by anybody. And I recommend that you guys don't do that either. Okay. If you don't feel comfortable or confident enough to do that right off the bat, say, hey, my partner and I, okay, do this. Okay. And you always have Lynn. Okay. I'll get to you, Armin. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I always want to make sure that, we're at the right level. I don't want to put myself above them. And at the same time, I want to make sure that they understand that they're not above me.
There
So,
you go.
hey, B,
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
good morning. Can't get over that good picture you got up there. Love it.
Isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
He's
my,
glowing,
my
bro.
girlfriend's been looking at it. She's like, oh wow, you changed your Discord profile. I was like, yeah, it's about time. It's about
There you
time to let
go.
them know how I look like and what the wifey look like.
There you go. There you go. Looks good. I
What I
love it.
really should do is get a picture of a storm in there as well. That's what I got to do.
Photoshop.
Oh no, we have one.
Oh,
I
you
just
do?
gotta,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I just gotta. Matter of fact, I'll look for that one, something like that.
Awesome.
It was Storm's birthday
But
yesterday, man.
we,
That was crazy.
yeah, it was my good boy's birthday today. How about yesterday? Celebrated like crazy.
Yeah? Whose birthday?
My dogs.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. How old or young?
3 in real
All
life,
right.
21 in his life.
Right.
So we had to go crazy for him.
Absolutely. Did you get a keg and everything too, or no?
We got a keg. We got him broccoli. We got him some Papamigos.
Love it.
Went crazy.
It was.
All right, Patrick, explain the best proper way to underwrite. The best proper way to underwrite is to know your exit strategy first to be able to underwrite it. I mean, you can't just it's not the same process for every deal. Every deal is going to be different. A cash deal, you're going to look at different things. Sub two, seller finance, hybrids, whatever else. You're going to look at different information to be able to underwrite. So it depends on the deal itself. Multifamily is going to be different. Commercial is going to be different. So there are just way too many things. If you have anything in specific in mind, by all means, bring it up, and I'd be happy to break it down. And we've got the one and only Matt Riley here too, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to help you with that too. Now, as far as talking about A, B, C, and D neighborhoods and how to identify them, A neighborhood is your think of it as like your CEO neighborhood. Where do CEOs of companies live? Okay, the higher end luxury, those are the types of properties that is considered an A neighborhood. Okay, it's very safe, protective. B neighborhoods would be your management, high management managers. That's where they live. Okay, very nice neighborhoods, clean, probably has HOAs in them on them. Safe, good neighborhoods, great school systems. Same with A's. Okay, C's are your typical your workers. Okay, your blue collar classes. Okay, that's where they live. Okay, still great neighborhoods. Okay, very solid. Normally on the older side. Okay, the newer it is, the closer most of the times it is to the A's and B's. But the C's are like your 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s now, year built neighborhoods. Okay. And then your D's are your war zones. Okay. That's where your um, gangs and war ridden neighborhoods are at. Okay. Those are the neighborhoods that you don't want to stay to be found in. Okay. You're scared of going to those neighborhoods. Okay. Drug lords live there. Okay. Or dominate there. Okay. So that's a D neighborhood. That's how I identify them. I don't know if anybody else has a different way of looking at it. I'd love to hear your version, but that's my version. Armin, on Lynn, I called 2 times. He didn't pick up. Sorry. Congratulations on your birthday. I will make sure to send you a happy birthday in 4 days. Can you share a specific negotiation tactic or tip, probably one that you don't even have to think about anymore, that consistently helps you secure favorable terms with sellers and buyers? That's a great question. So, I mean, my strategy has always been, not always, but in the past few years, it's been, we always start with cash. Okay, we always want to get the lowest price possible, and if we see that we can't come to an agreement as far as price, the seller's stuck on their price, then we bring in terms. Okay, so, and I believe Dan was touching up on this yesterday too, that this is how they're offering now to sellers. They're giving them two options. So that's what I do. That's what we've been doing all this time, and we find it very successful. So a negotiation tactic, I mean, each part of it is going to have its own specific, each negotiation part, I mean, has a specific way of using a tactic or whatever. I mean, I don't like the word tactic necessarily over here. It's just a matter of building that relationship, really, more than anything else, Nate. It's finding out where the seller is, finding out where their motivation is. I mean, it's really easy. It's not hard, guys. If you follow what Brent Daniels says with the 4 pillars, okay, you're just trying to gather the 4 pillars. And then the most important one for us has always been motivation, because now you know which pain buttons to push, and all you're going to learn with practice is when and how or how hard to push them. Okay, so that's really negotiations right there for you. I know Dan is the master salesman, and he's got better ways of explaining it to you, but I mean, that's I just roll with it. It's not like I have a set number of negotiation tactics that I have pasted on my wall, and I go, okay, number 1 I tried, didn't work. Number 2, it doesn't work like that. In my brain, it doesn't work that way. Okay, it just flows naturally, and it's only because of experience. That's all. So Dan, I'm glad you're on here. If you have anything else to add on that, I'd love to hear your take on it too.
You know, it's funny. I actually was just having a conversation with my team this morning because I had a very high level phone call last night with some of the top guys in the industry, and we were on a group call together, and we were talking about some things going on right now, and we were talking about the strategies that are taking shape in the industry right now, and I just want to say that there's a lot of changes coming, and I've preached this over and over and over and over again to you guys, and I don't really know how many people really hear me. I don't know if people really are paying attention, but you guys are gonna have to start paying more attention to what I'm saying when I'm going over these things, just simply because the industry is changing in a way where it's going to knock out a lot of the people that have entered into the space with only one strategy that has been effective up to this point. And wholesaling for the past 5 years has been a very simplified strategy, right? And it's created a lot of wealth for a lot of people who probably didn't deserve it, right? Because it was very simple and there was a lot of opportunity on the board. And so when that happens, is like that kind of always happens when someone really develops a really easy method for deploying, deploying cash into a certain part of the economy, right? We saw it with drop shipping. We saw it with, Bitcoin and a lot of other these things. It's like a lot of these situations create a lot of what Patrick Bet-David calls it. He calls it, they're sort of they're fake millionaires, right? Have fake money, and wholesaling is becoming another situation like that, unfortunately, to where it is going to wear off to a point where it's going to change drastically as we progress. And it's, those of you who have come in through TikTok and all these other things from these fake gurus and their courses only preaching a certain method of, oh, agent outreach and, oh, cash to seller and do the assignment and blah, blah, blah. It's like if this is what you got going on for you, you're going to be destroyed in the next 3 to 4 months, or you're just never going to do a deal. You have to learn how to adapt to what's coming. And again, like all those industries, listen, guys, there's still people making money off of drop shipping. There's still people making money with Facebook, or sorry, Amazon, Amazon FBA. So there's all these other situations that have died out for the mass majority, but the people who understood the business from the very beginning and actually built the business were the ones that have continued to succeed inside of those industries, and they continue to still make money. If you're someone that has only been doing cash deals, cash to cash buyer, cash to seller, assignment fee to cash buyer, you're going to get wiped out in the next few months. And this is something where we were really literally, trust me, who I was on the phone with last night, we're not talking on the phone. We're not wasting our time with each other talking to ourselves because we're all extremely busy with our companies, with what we're doing. We don't have time to get on the phone with each other and talk about things if things aren't serious, right? And if things aren't drastically different. And I think a lot of people, and I want to touch on this real quick because I think this is something that a lot of people don't understand, is a lot of people assume that they're like, oh, well, the interest rates have to drop, right? We want the interest rates to drop. We don't want the interest rates to drop. We don't want the interest rates to catastrophically drop just so we can get cash buyers back on the board and just so we can get all these people buying all these properties again. What a lot of people don't understand is if we do that right now, that it's going to create a catastrophic gap inside of the economy. And what I mean by that is because all of us who have capital, access to cash, access to free flowing cash, all of those people are going to buy up everything at that point. And what is going to happen at that level is it's going to separate the economy drastically to the point where you're really headed into more of a communistic structure at that level, which is something that, I don't think we really want. So if we want it to kind of stay how it is, where we've been making success, making money, what we don't need right now is we don't need the interest rates to drop when all this money circling that has been forced into the economy is still out there moving around. Because what I will tell you guys is, listen, like you guys remember during the situation we had a couple of years ago, 2 and 3 years ago, we had a little situation going on and there was a lot of money printed and forced into the economy. What happens is that money goes to the people that provide value, right? So when that money gets printed, it goes to the people that don't have any value. And what do? They get rid of it real quick because money is attracted to value. So always keep that in mind. Is like money will go where there is value to be had. So where did all of that money that was circulating around? It didn't just disappear. It went to the people that provide value. Who are those people? Those people are the most successful business owners, corporations, and entrepreneurs inside of the country. They now control all of that money, the majority of that money that was forced into the economy at that time. So what we don't want is we don't want that money to be utilized to buy up everything if the interest rates drop dramatically. So what we want instead is we want the interest rates are where they're at, and it is what it is. But what we want to do is we want to actually realize what type of economy that we're living in, what type of structure that we're living in, and we want to be able to structure our businesses accordingly to those things. All of my businesses and all the people that I was on the phone with last night, all of their businesses are going to take a massive redirection within the next 2 to 3 months, preparing for quarter one of next year, because next year is going to be a drastically different economy than what we started out in January of 2023. So we are preparing right now in this quarter. We are investing our money, investing our time into preparing for that opportunity. So again, I urge you guys to right now, don't try to hustle. Don't try to just grab a quick check. Don't be spending a lot of money on shit that doesn't matter. Right now, if you want to make money in the future, you need to invest into a business, into this business, into whatever it is that you're going to do. And you need to have the knowledge and the understanding of what is coming if you want to take advantage of what is coming in the economy in the future. So my clients and myself and my colleagues, we're all going to be prepared. People like Bob, John and Savion, Matt Riley, all these people who are my colleagues or clients or myself, my employees, we're all going to be prepared for what's coming. You need to learn how to plan and play the long game. You guys have to learn how to get your vision moving in the future, not what is available right now. The biggest mistake I ever made was not driving my Honda into the fucking ground. It's the biggest mistake I ever made in my business career. So don't get caught up on getting the new car for Christmas. Don't get caught up on buying this or that. Tell your wife, tell your significant other, tell your husband, tell your kids, hey, listen, we're going to have it all in the future. But right now, for this moment, I am planning to take us to the next greatest level. We have to structure our finances accordingly for that. So my money right now needs to go into shaping my business, whether that means working with someone like me, whether that means investing your time and money into resources like working with other high-level individuals, or investing your money into reading books about what is coming, but not really about what is happening, what has happened in the past 5 years. If you are looking at wholesaling thinking that you are going to repeat what you've been doing in the past year, those of us who have been doing the business at the level that you guys are wanting to do the business, we're telling you, change has already been happening, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better, but you can change, and you can develop a new pathway to where that doesn't affect you. And you can keep scaling up along with us. But if you want to get to a high level inside of this industry, if you don't want to stay with your 9 to 5, if this is really something that you really want to do and it's not just a game to you, then I urge you significantly that there's no reason that we're having, a DEFCON 1 meeting last night. We're in the emergency meeting last night, having this conversation. We're in the war room last night, having these conversations. We're not in there talking to each other, wasting each other's time. We're in there because it's important, and we have to know how to prepare.
Gotta get an invite. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. We got some more questions. We got to get them answered. We got about 7 minutes left. Dan is that guy, man. He's always going to tell you what you need to hear, even when you don't want to hear it. And he's telling you that change is coming, and in fact, it's already here. So if you're not already, tap in with somebody who's got the experience in this business. There are multiple people in the community that can help you take you to the next level. Figure out who you want to work with and work with them.
Love it. Yeah, Dan is always talking not about real estate, but about business and entrepreneurship and life in general. So, and obviously, real estate is a portion of that. So,
Dan's really a hospitality guy, Bob.
yeah, he's not a real estate guy. He keeps saying that. We don't believe him, but he keeps saying it. Jesus, is it best to go for high equity pre-foreclosures, or how can we tackle low equity pre-foreclosure properties? Jesus, you should go for both. Okay. With high equity pre-foreclosures, you can put more money into the seller's pocket. Okay. And be able to get that property under contract. With low equity, you're going to be doing a subject to, meaning that you're going to catch up on the arrears and take over the monthly payments and be able to uh, use it either. I mean, there are several different exit strategies. Um, Use it as a rental, short-term rental, long-term rental, mid-term rental. You can wrap it. You can do lease options. There are several different things that you can do with it. There's a property right now in Stockton, California, that we're going to put under contract today or tomorrow, and it has very little equity in it. Okay, but there's a second on there that we feel like has been forgiven, but they keep on insisting that it hasn't. So if we are able to find the documents to show that that second is not there, boom, immediately we're going to create about $130,000 of equity into that property. Okay, and we've told the seller, hey, if we can get this forgiven or waived, the second, you're going to get a lot more money in your pocket, and we're totally open and okay with that. So both options work. Okay, both of them are great. Lou Nelius, you're on stage. If you've got a question, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I had this. I had two lots in Tennessee. Um, I had listed them, and John just invited me here to talk about them.
Nice. Let's hear them.
Yeah, so one is 27 acres. It's in Goodlettsville. It has a big slope though. It's been on the market for a while. We're asking for 330. The price is about to increase. Um, there's about two possible building sites. There's no permits. I think there are a few utilities because there's houses nearby. It's on a pretty populated street, so. And then the other one is 80 acres. It's close to, it's 1 hour away from the highway. I mean, from the airport. Um, it, it's 15 possible acres that you can build on, three building sites, and yeah, that's all the information I have on it right now. It's off market.
Very cool. So people, if you have buyers or if you are buyers for those two, reach out.
Yes, please.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think.
Tiffany, can I give?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was just going to ram through the questions as much as possible.
Yeah, we got
Can I
3
give the
minutes.
Can I give the title company my spouse name for the payment, or does his name have to be on the contract instead of mine to be possible? Ask your title company that question. Okay, it depends on the title company. Some title companies, especially if you have a relationship with them, they'll let you do it. Otherwise, they might not. Okay, so it depends on your relationship with the title company that you're using. Matt Riley, what are you doing, man? How come you're not answering questions? Are we wasting your time?
Feels like it, huh?
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
There's a deal that was brought up. Okay, so this one was brought up by Myron. Excuse me, sub to assignment, 10,500. So, like Matt said, it is a low entry. Okay, but the numbers don't look that great. I'll tell you what, we have one similar one that we are selling right now. We are assigning it. And the reason that we're able to do that, especially right now, we are in Q4 of 2023. And people with high income are looking for tax deductions. Okay. Anything that can give them tax breaks. So people like that would be ideal for that type of a scenario where Myron has. Okay. Where it may be very low cash flowing, maybe even slightly on the negative side of cash flowing. So someone with high income could come in, take that over at a very low price. Okay. And use its tax deductions. Okay, very smartly. So I hope that helps. Matt, if you got more on that, I'd love to hear your point too. Can I get, okay, I just read that. Is that one of the main reasons someone will okay? Oh, sorry, Matt. I didn't see your last reply. See, when you're not here and you're quiet, I don't know where you are, man. I feel lonely up here. Come on, man.
Oh man, Bob.
Can we be honest about what lists bring leads? For example, high equity, vacant, etc. So that question kind of offends me, meaning that we're not being honest with you. We have been honest with everybody since day one. Okay. And what
Yep.
lists? Every list can bring you leads. Okay. It depends on what you want to do with those leads and how long you want to go and work those lists. Okay. The lists that have been working since day one of wholesaling way back when, okay, still work. Okay. It's just a matter of who's after them, how many people now are doing those things. And it's also cycles, it goes and comes. Okay. So maybe pre foreclosures may be hot right now, but they weren't hot 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Okay. They were hot back in 2007 through 2013. Okay. Then they slowed down. Okay. But then they've picked up again. So it's a matter of cycle. So it depends on the list. Every list can be a good list. Do you personally put sub two deals on a contract based on a specific down payment, monthly payment amount before marketing to your end buyers? Yes, absolutely. You always want to look at every deal from your end buyer's eyes or perspective. On my side are usually around 3.5%, and then I assign them between 7 to 10% entry fees. Jesus, Matt, I got to learn from you. How do you put them around 3.5%? That's phenomenal.
Well, that's who he is. He's Mr. Rinse and Repeat, Mr. Matt
That's right.
Riley.
That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this time to appreciate everybody that has come to join us. We got 44 in the audience. Thank you to everybody that came up to join us. Please just copy and paste this text that I'm about to post and send it to a couple people today, whether it be a realtor or somebody you're doing business with or somebody you see on Facebook. But invite them. They're invited to come and join the revolution. Bob, thank you for your continued contributions and everything that you've done for the community, all the resources that you've shared with us, your time, your excellence, your experience. We appreciate you. You are a true professional. And quite frankly, I don't think that there's anybody quite as giving as you, Bob, because you really pour a lot into this community, to tell you the truth.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. And obviously, you are the man yourself who has created all of this and has given all of us the opportunity to be able to help each other out. So we appreciate you tremendously and have lots of respect for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, everyone. Hope to see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to bring your questions. I love this. Take care. Have a great one, everyone.